Hi everybody, this is training on how to create a susecon 2020 demo recording, and we're going to use the software package OBS Studio. So if you are installing this from Windows, you will use this link from the obsproject.com website. You can simply look up OBS in order to find it, but this is broadcasting software, so it's designed to create either a stream or a recording. And what we're going to do is create a recording. It does not have editing capability, so it's a live demo stream. So we're going to install it first on Linux, and you'll be able to see how we install it. So make sure that the Pacman repository is enabled. This should be there if you've already installed codecs or other things on your Leap system. If not, it's in the community repositories. So I'm going to say OK here, and I'm going to go to software management and install OBS Studio. So I type OBS-Studio. And you can see it's there. You don't need any of the other OBS packages. It may pull in some dependencies. I'm going to say accept here, and it will download and install. It's not very big at all, and OBS Studio is already installed now. So I'm going to run OBS Studio from my GNOME desktop. So I just type OBS and you'll see OBS Studio icon there. And when I first open it, it will run this auto configuration wizard. So what you want to do is allow it to do the automatic configuration. That way you are your computer is going to be optimized to run OBS correctly. So what we want to select is the optimize just for recording. I will not be streaming. Go to next. The base canvas resolution will be auto-detected in your scenario, so you can drop this down and choose a display if you wish, if you have multiple displays. I would suggest that you allow it to determine this itself. I'm using 1920 by 1080. So I'm going to click on next. And now this does a nice job of detecting your capabilities and what it can do. And it will come up with a solution very shortly for you to have the best possible recording. And that's all you care about. Don't go in and tweak and mess with things. As you can see, mine came up with a test result here where it allows me to set this recording quality, my canvas resolution, and scaled resolution, FPS, and all of those things. I just click on Apply Settings, and now I have the basics set to start. You'll notice in the audio mixer, I have desktop audio and mic augs. So if you click on the gear on mic and go to properties, make sure you select the microphone device that you want to use. I'm using my Yeti stereo microphone here as my default. It will auto adjust volumes later, so it's not necessary for you to mess with it, but if you want to, you can. And then close out, say OK here. You'll notice the desktop audio is enabled by default. If you're doing a demo, the last thing you want is for your instant messenger or email to suddenly become part of the recording. So please turn desktop audio all the way down. So now this blank palette here in the middle is where the video is going to be recorded. So by default, we have nothing set in here. So we're going to click on Sources, and we're going to choose Screen Capture as our source. You can, if you only are using a web browser and you already have that window open, you can use this window capture for Xcomposite. That also could be a possibility. This tool allows you to do some mixture of media, so you can select multiple sources. For purposes of susecon 2020, we're trying to be as simple as possible. So either pick a window capture or the screen capture. So in our case, I'm going to have a mixed media presentation where I'm using both a command line and a web browser. So I'm going to pick screen capture, and you can leave it at the default name since you don't have any other sources, and say OK. And when you do, now it gives you a drop down that will allow you to pick whichever screen you wish to capture if you have multiple monitors. My laptop, I have my laptop screen and an external monitor. I'm going to choose my laptop screen for compatibility purposes with the rest of you. You don't need to go into advanced settings at all. So now I am set to capture just this screen. I'm going to actually move my OBS now to my second monitor so it doesn't appear in the recording. Well, I can't do that if I'm going to record my stuff. So now I can... I'm ready to do my training, so I can start recording and then I can minimize OBS and get my recording. So I'm ready to record. Off we go. I click on start recording, and now you can see I have the pause button lit up here. I'm going to minimize this, record a few minutes. Minus L, minus A. LA. Okay, so there's my directory. I can open a web browser here, and here log into SUSE Manager. You can do whatever you wish with your demo. When your demo is all complete, you can come back to OBS Studio and stop recording. So now that I've hit the stop recording button, it has created a file for me. So all I have to do now is go to File, Show Recordings. And now I see this file that has today's date on it. So here's today's date. And what I want to do is rename this to my session. So I'm going to right click on it and say rename and call it susecon 2020 demo test, and click on rename. And now I'm going to close this window, and I'm back in OBS again, and I do File, Remux Recordings. So the default file option for OBS is an MKV file. We're going to turn that into an MP4 so I can share this. So I'm going to click on select the recording here, and I do that with these dots here. So I select my recording, susecon 20 demo test, and I say open. And now you can see it's going to open it as an MKV and save it as an MP4. If I click on Remux, it takes it a very short period of time to turn that into an MP4. So now I say OK and close. And I'm actually done now with my recording for OBS. So when I look at my files here, I've created a susecon 2020 demo MP4 file, and I can open this with VLC media player if you already have that, if you just want to test. and I say select, and now I can see the recording that we just made. That looks good. Everything looks good. I'm going to close this. Now I can simply open my my email. So if I go to my online tools for my email and if I open the OneDrive, I have a folder for susecon2020, and I can simply drag that file over to it. So here's my susecon2020. Here's my file, and I just drag and drop it here, and it will upload that one item to susecon2020. Once it's done opening, I can click on share link here and click on share and share it with Russ Dastrup or whoever wants to be able to watch your video. So that's the conclusion of creating your susecon 2020 video recording, and I hope you have a good time doing it.